Hey there, hi there, ho there, everybody. Rob here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Sunday, November 2nd, 2025. I'm here with the Golden Driller statue, one of the icons of Oklahoma. It's right adjacent to the fairgrounds, not too far from Route 66. And if you get a chance to stop by, it's pretty cool. He's pretty big. I'll see if I can take a picture that'll show you some scale. It was put up in May 1966, just a month after I was born. This is our first stop of the day. More to come. My second stop of the day is at Memorial Park Cemetery, Tulsa, Oklahoma, at the grave of the amazing musician, Roy Clark. Let me tell you my Roy Clark story. The last time I was here in Oklahoma, it was August 2014, and one of the events that I went to was a fundraiser for the Will Rogers Memorial. It was held at a theater. And they had some hors d'oeuvres before the program in the theater, which was a silent film accompanied by live organ music in the theater. It was a really beautiful evening. As I was looking over at the hors d'oeuvres, there was a man over there by himself. He was dressed more casually than everybody else at the event. I was wearing a suit. He was wearing an open collared shirt. He had a hat on. He was very thin, somewhat frail, and gray hair, and I was watching him with the hors d'oeuvres. I think he had a cane, but in any case he was quite frail, and I just remember noticing that he was dressed differently than everyone else, and I kind of wondered who he was. During the program, they were thanking people for attending, and they said, "Thank you so much also for Roy Clark for attending tonight's event." I think by that time it was too late to say hello. I don't recall exactly, but I do recall realizing later who was there, and I missed the opportunity to say hello to someone that I really, really enjoyed throughout his life. I enjoyed his music, I enjoyed his personality on Hee Haw and in other programs. And if you get a chance to go to YouTube and look at some Roy Clark videos, just an amazing, amazing musician and a human being. And I just wanted to say thank you to Roy Clark and remember him today. And I'll put some photos up to show you a close-up of his beautiful grave. Also buried at Memorial Park Cemetery are comedian Sam Kinison, country music legend Bob Wills, and evangelist Oral Roberts. My next stop is here at the entrance to Oral Roberts University, and I wanted to stop here to say a heartfelt thank you to all of you who have been praying for me, for my continued health as I enter my second year living with cancer. This is the Healing Hands Monument. It's a giant pair of praying hands right at the entrance to Oral Roberts University. It was moved from its original location nearby. And it's pretty big. I'm going to see if I can put a picture to give you a closer view. And when I heard that this was nearby, I just thought of no better way to say thank you than to think about all of the people who've been praying for me, including, as I understand, a number of people who I've never met. So if you're seeing this video, thank you so much. I've driven down to Oklahoma City. It's a beautiful day at the Wiley Post Park. And behind me, over here, you can see the statue of Wiley Post. Crafted in the 1960s. I think it was originally downtown, and the last time I was in Oklahoma it was definitely in storage, so I wasn't able to see it. I'm going to put some pictures in for close-ups there's some kids over there playing in the playground, so I didn't want to disturb them. I think it's neat that it's in the middle of a playground, and certainly Wiley Post had a big imagination of things he wanted to do as a pilot and as an engineer and an inventor and all kinds of things that he did with aviation in the early part of the 20th century. And he flew around the world twice in the Winnie Mae, once with Harold Gatty as his navigator and once solo, making a number of stops, of course. And then he also flew up into the stratosphere and is credited with discovering the jet stream, wearing a pressure suit that he designed, the forerunner of all of our modern pressure suits that our astronauts wear today. And on August 15th, 1935, he was on a plane trip with his friend Will Rogers up in Alaska. They had stopped for directions on their way to Point Barrow briefly. When they got back in the plane and took off from the lagoon, the plane fell from the sky and both of them were killed. It was a big tragedy, and as you go around the Oklahoma area, there are a lot of things named after Will Rogers and Wiley Post. And just wanted to recognize him today. I'm so glad to see the statue. You hear that sound? Well, here I am at the American Banjo Museum, Oklahoma City. Very special exhibit inside. I'll show you more in the next part of the video. This is in downtown Oklahoma City. Still a beautiful day here. When you enter the museum and you go to the right, you're in the gift shop. If you go to the left, you're in this wonderful place called the Learning Lounge, where you can pick up a banjo and learn how to play it. And they have some great quotes. Earl Scruggs, Grandpa Jones, Al Capone, interesting. Steve Martin, Vince Gill, John Lennon. They have a banjo player's directory here. And the other side, some more quotes from Roy Clark. Some books you can look at. Mark Twain, Pete Seeger, and my favorite, Chester A. Arthur. I am the President of the United States, and if I want to learn how to play the banjo, it's nobody's damn business. The museum has 2 floors, and when you come in and go to the left, currently on display, you've got some banjos by Earl Scruggs and Steve Martin. Now that's the banjo presented by the Kennedy Center, the Mark Twain Prize banjo presented to him. So there's another banjo of Steve's in another part of the museum. And then we get into an area on the history of the banjo. And look at this great outfit. Custom-made suit worn by Scotty Plummer when he performed with Liberace at the age of 14. As you can imagine, they have many banjos on displays here, and the nice thing is that they're in cases where you can see them from all angles. Just some beautiful craftsmanship here.
Persuaded by a friend to ask for an audition with one of the Grand Ole Opry's biggest stars. Although he acted unimpressed, Bill Monroe invited Earl Scruggs to the opera.
On the second floor of the museum, they have this nice place to have small concerts. And then outside is the Banjo Hall of Fame. Many, many famous banjo players on these walls. Down on the bottom here are Kristen Scott Benson and Bill Evans, a couple of players that I've taken some classes with, both online and in a live Zoom session. Really talented banjo players and nice people as well. Then coming out of the Hall of Fame area, it's a case with even more banjos of different shapes, different designs. Here's a Gibson All-American from 1940 with some beautiful eagle artwork on the back. As well as some smaller banjos. Known as the banjo ukulele. Also on the second floor, looks like they have a workshop area to repair and restore the banjos. And then there's a temporary exhibit called Pop Goes the Banjo. I'm going to turn around in a minute and show you what's on display there. Here's some nice animation cells from the Flintstones and Huckleberry Hound playing the banjo in a canoe. Two banjos seen here were used in the production of the film Killers of the Flower Moon. Here's one of the classic banjo players of all time, Grandpa Jones, and his banjo, played in the clawhammer style. Check him out on YouTube. Pretty amazing player. Back here, let me look at the back of this one. Looks like a piece of wood cut out of a tree. Part of the 2002 film by Disney, The Country Bears. And this one has a beautiful design on it. You might have already seen this character in my earlier shot. Here's Kermit the Frog with one of the original banjos from the Muppet movie. I'll take some close-up pictures as well. We are here at Memorial Park Cemetery, this time in Oklahoma City. It's north of downtown, where they have this beautiful memorial to Wiley Post, father of modern aviation, 1898 to 1935. There's a nice engraving there of him with the Winnie Mae and in his pressure suit. I was here in 2014. I was not doing video at the time, so it's nice to be back and take a video on a nice day such as this. It's basically the same design on the other side. And then just across this road, there's a little walkway leading up to the grave of Wiley. And his wife. So there's a marker here with a couple of flower holders. And he's up here in this row. Wiley Post, a fellow Oklahoman to Will Rogers. This is his wife, May, who died in 1984. It's a beautiful cemetery. That's my final stop here in Oklahoma City today. Thanks so much for watching.